On a normal Briggs & Stratton engine, the spark plug is right in the middle on the top of a cylinder and is fired by a magnet that moves past a coil. These guys moved the spark plug so you can see down into the engine and came up with a clever way to fire it with a buzz coil from the 1920s. They're also running the cylinder on propane instead of gasoline because it's cleaner and it makes the engine last longer. Now that we understand that this is basically a normal engine that they're taking the metal head off of and replaced with an acrylic head, it's time to get the high-speed camera set up and see the one thing I've been wanting to see for several years. An explosion inside the engine.
I can't tell you how excited I am about this this camera mount you built with its engine hoist.
It's like, this is the most acoustically pleasing thing I've seen in a while.
I just triggered it.
Okay, this is pretty and all, but I want to understand exactly what's happening. We have the piston on the left moving up and down inside the cylinder and two valves on the right. Let's take a look at how a four-stroke engine works and count off each of the four strokes along with me. The first thing that happens is one of the valves on the right opens, allowing a fuel-air mixture to be drawn into the cylinder. This stroke is called the intake. When the piston gets near the bottom of the cylinder, the intake valve closes and then the piston starts to compress the gas. This is called the compression stroke. The third stroke is the pretty one. This is called the power stroke. The explosion happens and increases the pressure inside the cylinder, which applies force to the face of the piston, pushing it down. When all those gases have burned after that third stroke, the exhaust valve then opens and the fourth stroke, called the exhaust stroke, clears the cylinder of all those exhaust gases. The intake valve then opens back up and the process starts over and over again. Timing is everything in an engine to make sure it works properly. For example, you want to make sure the spark happens just before the piston is at top dead center because you want the pressure to be building up at the same time as that piston is ready to start moving back down. When you hear a person talk about the advancing or retarding of the timing of an engine, that spark timing is what they're talking about. If you look really closely, you can see that the spark happens just before the piston reaches the top of the stroke. I asked Everett and Mike if they would dare to run the engine on gasoline for me because I wanted to see a brighter flame. I was really excited when they said yes, and I was even more impressed when they said that they could change that engine over in just a matter of seconds.
So we're already converted? Like, you're done?
That's it.
That was fast. Man, that's good right there.
Okay, now that you know how an engine works, watch each of the four strokes and see if you can identify each one. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. Intake, compression, power, exhaust. Now think about the engine in your car. All the explosions are synchronized together to make that one constant engine roaring sound.